Hello, handlers. This is the OSDA Handlers Post, and I am your host and also handler of Cara, Cassie, and Ty Barrett. This is a very special show where I'm going to give in-depth interviews with a bunch of OSDA members and handlers and trialers, and try to talk about everything about dogs, trialing, handling, and everything in between. Just learn about these people and just about the dogs and everything in general too. So today I am joined by a very special guest, the handler of Ike Woodrow in the 2018 Oklahoma Stock Dog Association Open Ranch Dog of the Year, SK Spice, also president of your Oklahoma Stock Dog Association. So I thought it was pretty fitting to get him as my first guest on the OSDA Handlers Post. Justin Barrett. How's it going, Justin?
It's going pretty good right now for me. Taking a break from the last trial and getting ready for the next one, and working Woodrow until we have lambs, and then take another break. Then
Yeah. So give us a little introduction about yourself. Something you want to let people know. Tell us about yourself real fast. Give us some info.
I am Justin Barrett. I have been doing this since I was, I think, 12 is what I'll go with as a good number. That was when I first started. Was in a trial with the dog. I'm married. It's been great and all that fun stuff. I love to deer hunt and just hunt all together. I enjoy spending time outdoors, working with the dogs, and everything is my passion.
That's a pretty good intro. I'll give it to you there. So you have three dogs you currently have, right? You have three dogs.
Three dogs.
You've got Ike, Woodrow, and Spice. So I'm going to dive into a few. I have a list of questions here. I'm going to go through several of them. I'm going to kind of see how this goes. So what got you started in working border collies?
So what got me started was my dad. I grew up around the dogs with our dad, Buford. Trialing dogs got me started into it and interested in it just because he had an extra dog and he didn't want to work the dog, but it was trained enough so I could do it. So I started doing it. First dog I ever worked with was Snake / I think Roxy was her name before we got her. But Dad changed her name to Snake for I have no idea why. First trial we were ever in was at the Tulsa State Fairgrounds at the Judge Sheepdog trial there. It was the first one I ever got to work in with her, and the novice came in second overall. Just, so excited as a 12-year-old to go out there and do that well and think like, man, this is awesome. And now I'm like, that was cool, but I have so much bigger accomplishments on my mind. Just stepped up the level,
So you started when you're 12, and you've been doing this. You're 25 now, so that's more than half of your life you've been devoted to dogs at this point. What is a goal or something you've had? Let's start this way. What is a goal you had when you were 12 you're hoping for, and what's the goal you have now? Like how you've evolved. The goals have evolved, right?
I didn't really have any goals whenever I was 12, Ty.
You're just hoping for the best. So let's just do this. Yeah. So what's the goal you have now?
Now my big goal is being able to go to win the USBCHA Nationals, Nursery and/or Open. Both preferably would be big on my goal. To be a professional handler is also on my goal at some point for that. But yeah, that's my goals.
Okay, it's a pretty big goal. It's pretty hefty expectations, but we got to shoot for the stars. If you fall short, then you're still pretty close to the stars. You know what I mean?
Shoot for the moon and you land amongst the stars.
Well, okay, whatever. That's probably the one. Yes. Okay. Give me a break, Justin. Would you have a goal just for this next season? What's the goal you have per se?
Big goal for me is to try to get Woodrow started and qualify him for the nursery. I'd love to do it for this year, but it's probably going to be trying to qualify him for next year for me and just, win a lot of stuff with Spice and do well in the open class with her.
And to see what happens, huh?
See what happens,
That's good. Since you won the open ranch class, you got to move up. You don't necessarily have to in our rules, but you're going to anyways. You've already ran an open in Fort Worth. You got a win there. And I'm sure you're really excited to get this next trial season started off. Are there any handlers that you look to in the club, outside the club, I got a feeling I know what your answer is here, but
What do you think my answer is?
I would guess to dad probably is someone we could both say we look to. Uh, but just give me something here.
Man, I guess the biggest for me, you could say dad's one of the ones I look up to, as family wise for it all. The other big things I look to is, Alice McRae is far above and ahead of everybody else. So kind of looking to see what he does is big for me. I don't know him at all, so that's cool and all. Angie's another big one who does really, really well. Always does well everywhere she goes, and those are kind of the big people for me.
That's kind of as pretty big people to look to. So
the professionals.
You gotta figure it out for sure. Um, okay, so let's take you back to when you're 12 years old. Or so, 13, 14. You're starting out. What are some of the biggest struggles you faced initially, and how you kind of overcame those and stuff you've done to help some people who may be new to this sport? You are the president of this association, so you should have some knowledge, right?
On this, yeah.
You definitely, I've seen you, Justin. You've struggled plenty of times. What are some of the struggles you've had, and how have you got past those?
Some of the big ones for me is just trying to figure out how to work the stock. I have grown up around sheep most of my life, but it's truly, stockmanship is what makes or breaks you a lot of times in these trials. It's being able to anticipate things happening, kind of staying on track with it. It's how to read your sheep or the big things. That's something you just have to learn to do. Your dog's going to do it 10 times better than you ever can. My dog still are 10 times better than I am at reading sheep and cattle and everything, but you got to learn on that side of it. Just kind of taking your time working with the stock, seeing, helping in the back at trials, and just getting an opportunity to see the sheep and work with them and get a better understanding of what you're going against is a big thing. Other struggles is just trying to figure out how to teach a dog to do outruns, lift, fetches, drives, make all that straight. And big thing is set yourself up for a reasonable goal. Make sure that you want to do. I want to be able to do a good outrun at 100 yards. Well, a good outrun. That means they do a nice pear shape outrun. They lift it straight to you, and not trying to always look at things as in the perfect world, because we don't live in a perfect world. We live in the real world. So nothing is perfect. So whenever they might be over here, instead of being at 12 o'clock, say, is perfect lift where the dog should be. The dog's over here at 9 o'clock, but the lit sheep still lifted perfectly straight to you. Well, that's right, and that's what you want. So don't just always take what the perfect world is, but realize we live in the real world, and if things come straight to you, it's right. And just look for right, not perfect.
So kind of like this is a saying I like to have sometimes that winning is relative. Okay, sometimes, and although I hate it, moral victories are a thing because you're not all, in this sport. Even if you're the best, you're gonna lose at times, and so you have to be whenever you do something well, even if you lose, you need to be take it as a moral victory and have something to build off of because we're gonna struggle, we're gonna have issues, but if winning is relative, so sometimes wins are different than actually winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like say I do really well in this trial. I didn't think I was going to. Even though I didn't win, I did put out the best run. We exceeded our expectations. That's still a win, really, right? Even though we didn't win, we still win. Better.
Goals.
Because sometimes you have. It's not just about winning now. It's also about getting better. And so, both those things don't always go hand. Winning now and getting better can be hand in hand, but not always.
Yeah.
Okay, so now a similar question, but a little bit different. What is your? Oh, hold on. I had it right on the top tip of my tongue. I had it figured out. What? Oh, goodness. What is the most embarrassing moment you've had? And if you ask any handler, they're going to tell you there's some pretty embarrassing moments we've all had. Whether it's falling down in like hay or cow poop while you're backing up. What's your most embarrassing moment as a trainer or a handler or either?
Yeah.
Both? What are you going to do?
As a trainer, I have fallen down recently. I used not to, as embarrassed shape, pretty athletic back then, but not quite as athletic as I was. Some people may disagree with that. That was
I'm not going to disagree with that one. No arguments here.
For me, the other one was I did rip my pants once at helping at one Tom Roos trial. Had duct tape them back together so I could go out there and trial because I'd ripped them before I got to trial, so I had to walk around, rip pants for stuff. That was fun.
I also one time at Tom and Roost, it was after we had to like split off some ranch for them. Split my pants too, but there's a thing.
Here.
So we both barely like split pants, I guess.
Also, one of my favorite moments, and it's embarrassing, but it is funny to me as I'll get out at Tom Roost, because you just reminded me. Whenever at the end of Tom Roost's second trial, they always take out 20 new rams to keep for the rest of the year, and then Floyd would take the rams that are like a year and a half old or whatever, from last year's rams. He'd take those and they just make a trade. Well, we were help sifting those and everything, got them going and stuff, and one of them decides it's going to go back to the group. Like, I decide I'm just going to step in front of it, and it's going to turn back and go the opposite direction. Nope, I go ahead and step. I mean, I just sidestep real fast, and it jumps, and all of a sudden it's like I'm on the ground. Like, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden I'm on the ground. Everybody's laughing. This thing is on my chest, sideways, kicking and everything. I'm just wrapped. My arms around its chest and stuff and neck. Like, here, just sitting there holding on the ground. I'm just like sitting there going, what in the world's happening? Everyone else is busting up laughing. I mean, they're busting up laughing, like, they're just going, like, what just happened here? I'm like, you guys can help me get this one off me or not? They're just, like, still laughing, just busting up, like, never.
No one's ever wants to help you. You're like, oh my gosh, they're so embarrassed. They're just laughing.
Everybody's laughing
to help you get up.
It was funny. It's like, they just don't laugh. Like, I'm hitting on the ground, like, I didn't anticipate it. All of a sudden, like, I'm on the ground. Like, I just a blink of an eye, like, I didn't anticipate it, deciding it was going to jump on me. Didn't anticipate that at all, Ty.
You need to be better anticipatory
those
for
things.
Working. Okay, you really know your stock very well. Okay, so on the other end of the spectrum, what is the best moment you had? The most fulfilling moment you've had as a trialer, handler, trainer, whatever, whichever one you go with.
For me, the big one, the first big moment for me was with the dog Rascal, and actually doing well enough to win the overall buckle of Tom Roost trial. That was like at the Oak Tree Fall Classic with him in the novice class. Like, I've never done consistently well enough for the dog to do well to win. And with him, it was always a struggle. We couldn't be consistently good days. I mean, we'd be middle of the pack most time, but we were like really, really good. Had high scores, ended up with the same score, I think, twice. With the same, both days I had the same exact score, but was able to, I came in second. And with both those seconds, the one person who's first to like way at the end, like they had a good day and a really bad day. And the guy who came first, second day, by consistently great runs and won the overall buckle. Like, that was one of my biggest achievements for me. I'm always so proud of that, to be able to have finally had all those struggles and been able to win. And then he retired. Then I retired that dog and moved on to Spice. And started winning like crazy.
So going from like the old beat up truck I have at my house to like a fancy car, right? Just total
a little kind of.
Okay. So here's a couple more questions along the same sort of lines, or maybe different lines. What is the biggest strength and weaknesses you have as a handler or trainer or both? Either one.
Trainer. Truly, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know enough to be able to fix things and issues, especially with starting out. I'm still really learning those things and trying to really figure it out and get there. Strength-wise, I do have pretty good stockmanship and knowing what my stock's going to be. With sheep-wise, maybe not so much with cattle, but with sheep, I'm pretty good at reading my sheep and knowing what I need to do in certain areas. Like pinning is one thing that I just kind of get, and Spice and I are on the same page where we can pin about anything out there. Maybe not as well as Dad as he'd like to put it, but I feel like we do a great job at pinning and just kind of have it figured out.
So you're saying stockmanship is probably your biggest strength you have.
Yeah.
What's your weakness you got?
I said knowledge. I'm stubborn, and my knowledge sometimes isn't there to figure out every issue and kind of comprehend it sometimes. Whenever we're working on stuff to try to fix things, sometimes, I like to beat my head against the brick wall and say, just going around the brick
taking the door, and
yeah.
But that's something we all do. It's kind of like human nature. We're all kind of learning, and so yeah. Okay, what is the furthest you have ever traveled for a trial?
What is the furthest I've ever traveled? I think Fort Worth might be the furthest. I don't think I've gone anywhere else for a trial.
Well, that's probably going to be the shortest answer of anybody I'm going to have on the show, but you're also 25.
Or Missouri.
Missouri.
I went to Missouri for a trial. Arena trial there, judged by Danny Shields. That was a pretty long drive. I think Fort Worth is about the same distance wise for it. So, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. What's your favorite trial you've ever gone to? Your favorite to go to regularly?
I mean, the one I really like is Tom Noosh Trials, especially their Oak Tree Fall Classic is always really, really nice. They do a great job putting it on. Their food's amazing. One of my favorite trials was, and sad it's no longer going anymore, was the Duckhead Ranch trials. Our cow dog trials were great to go through because I'm telling you, they fed you like you were a king, Ty, like a king, and it was great. I mean, they were fun. They were great people.
Yeah, a lot of good work in there too. They had really nice cabins. It was definitely a great trial in every aspect. So, do you have any rituals or superstitions you do before? Whenever I run, before I run T, I like to always go do some sprint tricking beforehand. Do you have any? Maybe not that per se. Do you have any rituals or superstitions you do before you get to the post?
Oh man, I like to say I do. I always like to have the cowboy hat on, and you have everything right and feel ready. And in my head, I like to picture the run I'm gonna do. That's what I like to do. I like to think about it. I picture what the run's going to be. I probably should be taking spice for sprints for my health and for hers. That way, it's a little better because it's good to warm your dogs up before runs and also cool them down after runs. That way, they're less injury prone.
So that's good. He's a vet tech. He works at a clinic in Spalding, Oklahoma, advanced care veterinary. Check them out if you have a chance. They're pretty great there. You need dog care. So you are the president of the Oklahoma Stock Dog Association. Is there something? What's something you think the club could improve upon? We'll to move on to the club aspect of this.
Man, the club aspect. I think the big thing is I think we are trying to improve upon our membership. Being open with that stuff. I think play dates are always good. I know we try a little bit, we get busy, and then try to do that, and that'd be good to do. I've been trying to fix the rules and the bylaws and getting that. I need to go back through it all and reapprove it by the board. Kind of get everything that makes sense so nobody's confused by what we do. But yeah.
So one thing we did 2 years ago, before we were technically vice president, we started the OSDA Facebook page, and we're a club with about 20 members. Probably.
Yeah, like maybe
25 members. We now have 200 plus followers on
211 followers
on Facebook, which for a club with
211 likes.
Whatever it is, yeah.
I don't know how
whatever it is for Dad doesn't like the page, just follows us. I get notices every time he comments on there. Invite Buford Barrett to like your page. I'm like,
he's the one. He's the one.
We need to fix that. There's a few different ones. There's actually more than 200, whatever. So that's for a club that has 25 members to have. 200 people is not a ton of people on Facebook, but like to have 200 plus people for a club with 20 to 25
what we
members.
Were getting before. That's a big improvement.
And it's grown. I think the Facebook page has been probably our biggest
helper with the trials and everything, kind of getting us out there. I mean, it has made a nice difference.
I'm going to run this idea by you real fast. You may say no. What would you think of, you have the picture on the front of the Facebook page with the cover photo. What if we put out people, send in pictures of your dogs working, and we'll vote on who gets to be the new cover photo.
Can we do scrolling ones where it changes the cover photo?
We could, yeah.
We can do that. Just have the main one with that, and just add in the members as they send them in. That way it rotates through all those.
Yeah, then I have to work on the chest, and we'll pick one each month. We'll pick a new one.
Yeah, we can do that.
Would that be something you'd be up for? I saw the Central Cattle Dog Association did that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It'd be kind of a cool thing. So I don't know if anybody will respond, but I'll ask the board.
All of our 3 followers that I think are on listen to us.
Well, this is going to
be different.
It's going to be different, yeah. Check that out too. This is Justin is also the co-host of the Sugar and Spanky BMBC's Sugar and Spanky podcast. Check that out at BamBC.com. If you have any questions for Justin at the end of this, email him at justin.bmbc@gmail.com. It's his new email. So, anything else on the club you want to talk about? Anything you want the club to start doing? Anything you want the club to stop doing? Anything you want to talk about the club? we were lucky enough to have the president in today. So I want to just make your statement you did address right here. Or?
So, I feel like I should have made that last year. But, big thing is I really want to change the bylaws and our rules to be able to make that and really get that figured out and sorted. I think we're doing a great job on starting to get our information out there for trials and everything. And we're actually kind of gaining momentum with getting kind of more trials going. The more trials we get, the more people are going to be more involved and everything for us. It's just going to be a lot of, hard back-breaking labor for Ty and I, because we're the guys usually behind the scenes doing stuff too.
Yeah.
So it makes it quite fun. But that's the big thing is I think we are going in the right direction right now. We're doing a lot with our Facebook page and everything else, and just getting a lot more involvement. And that's the big thing. It's just kind of getting stuff out there so people see it and they're prepared and they kind of see it and they go, "Hey, we'll go to your trial."
We've also had several members. The Facebook page is good for a few reasons. We've had in the past 2 months, we've probably had 3 to 4 people message me directly on Facebook and say they want to be members. And they'll be at the trials, and so that'd be great. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
So it's been good helping us get, I think,
members and get our name out there.
So yeah, it's a really great thing we've done. So is that all you have in the club? You have anything you want to?
That's all I got in the club.
All in the club. Okay, so we have these final questions here. Most of them are kind of quick shoot questions. I'm going to ask him, and he'll give me an answer here. So ready, Justin?
Yeah. Am I just
answer them, okay? This is the first time, so whatever you do, you say you're the president, so you're setting the precedent. That was a good joke.
Okay.
Male or female?
Male.
Short hair or long hair?
Long hair.
Okay. Okay, I would think you were saying the other way, but okay. Puppy or started dog?
I prefer puppy.
Okay.
I'm 4, so.
You're 4, so we got a puppy and hope for the best. Arena or field?
Field.
Yeah, me too. Favorite stock to work?
Ooh, favorite stock. I gotta go with.
This could be sheep, goats, cattle, ducks.
Yeah, I want to say sheep are probably my favorite. If you want me to go specifics, Barbados, it's really just a mixture, man. Just sheep.
Sheep. Well, that's what we do mostly. We just want to do. Favorite dog you've ever had?
Spice.
She's number one, huh? Okay. Bumped Rascal right off, huh?
Yeah, he was just
the
just
first,
a placeholder.
Just a placeholder. Okay. Favorite dog that is not yours?
Favorite dog that is not mine. Oh gosh, Link. Sharon Harris's dog Link is one of my favorite to watch work. Or Carl from the lady up there in Nebraska whose name I cannot think of. I love watching that dog Carl work. He's a beautiful looking dog.
Okay. This question has an answer that if you don't get the correct answer, you may have somebody mad at you. Ready?
Okay.
Favorite OSDA member that is not you?
That is not me. Oh, I'm gonna go with Ashley.
That's the right answer there, Justin. Go with your wife. Okay. This wasn't the correct answer. If you chose somebody else, you might have been in trouble. Okay, this is not a direct answer, but it is an answer. So we'll finish on this one. I'm going to have you elaborate here, hopefully. Best advice you could give to a new handler and trainer, since this is a show about hopefully helping people learn more about the dogs and stuff. So, best advice you would give to a new handler or trainer?
Big thing is always ask for advice, ask for people's opinions on what you're doing. That way you can learn more, go to different places, see different stocks, see different people, learn as much as you can from everybody. Take everything with a grain of salt, though. I mean, you got to take things. It's not always going to be the same between everybody, but just take that advice and try to learn on it and build off of it.
Very good advice from the president of the Oklahoma Stockman Association and handler of Ike Woodrow and SK Spice. Thank you so much for joining me today, Justin, on the OSDA Handlers Post. And would you like to join me in the future, being my co-host, help me interview people?
Yeah.
As we expand this, hopefully we can get past just this episode.
Hopefully we can get some traction.
Hopefully some traction. And hopefully we'll have some really great interviews after this. And so thank you guys so much for listening. We're at about 24 and a half minutes. Thank you guys so much for listening, and see you next time. There we go, Justin.